I'm glad you're here, because what's happening to the Euphrates River right now is more than just an environmental issue. It's a convergence of climate, human decisions, and even biblical prophecy. Let's break it down. The Euphrates River is one of the most historically significant rivers on Earth. Flowing through Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, it's been the lifeblood of civilizations for thousands of years, especially ancient Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization. But today the Euphrates is in crisis. Chronic droughts, rising global temperatures, and decreased rainfall have all taken their toll. Climate change is quite literally drying up this ancient river. And it's not just nature. Human activity plays a big role too. Massive dams, like the Ataturk Dam in Turkey, have reduced the river's downstream flow. Meanwhile, poor international cooperation among nations that share the river adds even more stress to an already fragile system. Over 60 million people rely on the Euphrates for drinking water, farming, and basic survival. When water disappears, livelihoods vanish, crops fail, waterborne diseases spread. This isn't just a local issue, it's a growing humanitarian crisis. Now, for many, the drying of the Euphrates brings to mind a specific Bible verse, Revelation 16 verse 12. It says, "The sixth angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up to prepare the way for the kings from the east." This verse is part of what's known as the 7 bowl judgments, prophecies about catastrophic events during the end times. According to the Bible, the drying of the Euphrates clears a path for a massive army headed toward Armageddon. Some believe we're seeing that prophecy unfold. Others argue this is a matter of environmental science and international policy, not divine intervention. Many scholars suggest that while history has echoes of these events, like Cyrus of Persia diverting the Euphrates in 539 BC, the prophecy in Revelation likely refers to a future, symbolic event. And there's more. In Ezekiel chapters 38 and 39, we read about a future military conflict, often called the War of Gog and Magog, where a coalition of nations attacks Israel from the north. The countries listed in that prophecy, many align with today's geopolitical hotspots: Russia, Iran, Turkey, and others. Add to that the rising global tension, military conflicts, natural disasters, and environmental collapse, and you can understand why some believe we're living in the so-called last days. But interpretation matters. From a Christian perspective, these signs point to the second coming of Christ. From a secular view, they're challenges that require urgent action, innovation, and cooperation. Regardless of what you believe, one thing is clear: the Euphrates needs help. Nonprofits, scientists, and local communities are stepping up. But it's not enough. Global cooperation is essential to manage water sustainably, reduce conflict, and prevent further catastrophe. The Euphrates River tells a story that's as ancient as civilization itself. Today, it's a story still being written by unique governments and faith. Whether you see a prophecy, a crisis, or both, it's time to pay attention. Want to learn more? Subscribe for updates on global environmental issues, biblical prophecy, and how they intersect. And if you have questions, drop them in the comments. We're listening.